Pure Theater is celebrating what it means to be an American, with both regional and a world premiere hitting the local stage. Let's welcome back Sharon Graci, co-founder and artistic director of Pure Theater, and Rodney Lee Rodgers, co-founder and director of new media and education with Pure Theater. Great to have you both with us.
It's great to be here.
So you just came back from England,
I did.
And you went on a very special retreat.
Yes.
What was this?
We went to a writing retreat that was actually in Dartmoor National Forest. It was led by a writer by the name of Martin Shaw, and I'll actually let Rodney explain a little more about it.
Martin Shaw's been working for over 20 years. He's a mythicist, so it's from a storytelling basis.
Yeah.
And so a lot of what we do is storytelling. So you kind of start to learn how these more mythic structures work on you on kind of an internal basis, and how it kind of brings forth that story. So it was a fascinating trip. He's an amazing performer.
You're always refining your craft. You're always learning new things. It seems like with theater, it's infinite.
Yes.
It's just a never-ending process of getting deeper and more, I guess, adhered to the actual root of what theater is,
Right.
which I think is very exciting for Pure, because now you're celebrating 21 seasons, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And over the course of these years, you've touched on so many different types of subject matter, and tell us a bit more about what's coming up for season 21.
You know, I think for me, I always like when I have an opportunity to talk about Pure. One of the things that I think is most salient to a conversation about Pure is that I, after 20 seasons, going into season 21, am as excited about the company and the work that we're doing as I think we have probably ever been since its founding.
Wow.
And I think that is such a testimony to how the organization itself keeps growing. And I would say its depth is what we're really starting to fully understand, I think, and appreciate as an organization. The depth of our humanity and how that is expressed through the work on our stage. And what's so important is that is a broad invitation. Because one thing all human beings have in common is their humanity.
It's true. That's true.
And I think Pure is just this really unique, special place for all of us, regardless of who we are or what we believe in, to better understand that shared humanity.
Well, I have to say, you know, and this is not meant to sound blasphemous by any stretch, but going to the theater is, for me personally, is a lot like going to church, because when you kind of see or hear yourself reflected back at you, and you see characters on stage telling a story that so resonates with you, it just makes you understand the world around you better, but certainly yourself much better. And what I love is the broad depth of what you are showcasing this season, because what it means to be an American, it takes on many different forms. It's different for everybody.
Right.
So can you tell us a little bit more about some of the plays that are going to be showcased?
Well, the first show that we have up is called The Chinese Lady by Lloyd Suh. We'd say it kind of chronicles the arrival of who was recorded as the first Chinese lady in America. She was brought to New York as an attraction. So she came to a museum. She sat in Chinese attire. She did Chinese things, and then that was the give and take came from that.
Interesting.
She was only meant to be here for 2 years, but then went on longer, and then later was taken out on the road. So this was taken from town to town as a show. We learned, you talk about the history, we also learned that she also came to Charleston.
She was in Charleston.
So there was a time she came to Charleston as well.
Wow.
And this is 1835,
1834 is what I think when it starts, and it kind of chronicles through. But the play is so amazing, and it's so well written, because it both projects backwards and forwards at the same time. So you're getting this experience, and this incredible Afeng Moy, who was there in the beginning, the lady who is just an indomitable spirit, I think, on top of it.
That's fascinating. And tell us about the Lehman trilogy, because this is more current day. And we can all relate. We know what happened in 2008 and 2009. So tell us a bit more about what this play is.
So what's interesting about Lehman trilogy is it is that American immigrant story coming to this country again. We begin the story in the 1800s, and we chronicle the Lehman Brothers from their beginnings as merchants in Alabama, all the way through to the empire that was Lehman Brothers, down to its collapse. Which at the end, we all know there were no Lehmans actually on the board or anything like that. But it is this epic story about making your way through the American dream.
Yes, and then how it somehow fizzles, you know, and how it just goes away, which is so heartbreaking too. Yeah. Well, you've got a jam-packed, wonderful season coming up, so I just want to draw people to your website where they can find tickets. And where is the theater where you perform all of this?
So we are downtown on Cannon Street, the Cannon Street Arts Center, 134 Cannon Street.
Wonderful. Well, get your tickets now. You've got some great stuff, and wonderful actors too.
Thank you.
Thank you both so much for joining us.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
We're back after this.